Hey guys, what's going on? It's Broken Nose Gaming here, and today I have a World of Tanks Blitz video for you guys, and it's going to be even with commentary, which is not something I do anymore. That's just because I had a lot of fun in this particular match with this tank and this special game mode. The special game mode is called Big Boss, and if you've never heard of that mode, it is a special game mode that runs occasionally. Essentially, there are 5 different classes that you can spawn in as, and you have extra spawn-ins as well, so you can die multiple times. The classes are divided up into 4 regulars and then 1 boss. So the 4 regular modes, you have classes called Bomber, which is basically a tank that will be able to drive faster than normal, and it can do splash damage. There's one called Catalyst, which is also a damage roll. This one is damage over time, so as long as you penetrate or ricochet using a special ability, you can do extra damage over time, as well as having enhanced reload and enhanced alpha. There are 2 other classes. The other one is called Regenerator, which is your healer class. You can essentially, the same way you could splash damage, you can splash heal your friendlies, and you can also directly shoot your friendly tanks and heal them. You can also give them a shield that will block them from the next shot of an enemy tank. And then the last one is called Gravitron. This one's kind of funny. You can shoot out this basically black hole vortex, and it will pull tanks. So it's pretty tactical. That one's probably the one that requires more thought, because if you can drag your tanks up in the air, they can't do anything about it, and your team can shoot the tank. So those are your 4 regular classes, and then there is another class called the Big Boss, or Boss, and that one gets only 3 respawns, unlike the other ones who get unlimited respawns from a 30 life pool. And if you die 3 times, you're out of the game. You also, when you die, take away, I think it's 5 lives from your team's health pool that they respawn from. The boss has other abilities. You get much faster reload, you get extra alpha damage, you get this thing called like a mega shot, which essentially is like a Death Star laser, and it can go through multiple tanks. And you get this blast wave that kind of literally launches tanks into the air, and depending on the map, sometimes you can launch them into buildings, and they will be stuck there the entire match, which is advantageous for your team, but is no fun for the guys stuck in the building. But so that's Big Boss mode. So what tank did I find to have a lot of fun in? It's the one on the screen here. It is called the Cobra. The Cobra is a tier 9 British medium quote-unquote collector or premium tank, and it's kind of cool. Let me open up the stats really quick. So the big deal with this tank is it has a 120mm derp gun. It literally only has 2 types of ammo, heat and HESH. Not just regular high explosive. The British tanks have this thing called HESH, and the Cobra gets it. So Big Boss mode does some things to this tank that kind of breaks it. Your reload time gets cut in half, essentially, so you're dishing out 400 or 500 alpha shots every 5 seconds, which is pretty ridiculous. You also get a alpha increase, so you should be putting out more damage than just 400 or 500. And you also get your Death Star laser thing with the Mega Shot, which will do increased damage. But it's just the DPM that makes it so crazy. And I think this may be one of the better games that I had in Big Boss when it came to damage and kills. And I will show you guys that right now. Alright, so here we are. I am the boss. I'm looking around, seeing, I'm like, oh, really? So let me pause the game here really quick so I can show you like the exact actual things that you get when it comes to the Big Boss perks. So on the first square here, you have Tech Amplifier, so your reload gets cut in half. Your damage goes up by almost half. You get a 30% engine power and maximum speed increase. And I forgot about this perk. Your hit points are also quadrupled, so it takes a lot more damage to take you out of the match. Then there's the Blast Wave. Essentially, it just blows tanks and pushes them away. And then there's the Mega Shot. It does an extra 30% of damage on top of your damage as long as you penetrate. If you ricochet, then it's just 30% of the damage that you would normally do. So you can really hit and hurt tanks. So as we can see here in just a second, we're going to start the match. And we will, I will show you why this tank was a little ridiculous. So my tank's reload is normally 10 seconds. Here it's 5.3, so I'm dumping like 500 alpha shells almost every 5 seconds, which is kind of ridiculous. I also have a decent amount of ammo. I split this particular loadout as 50% heat, 50% HESH. In a normal game, I'm probably never going to use all my ammo, but it's just nice to be able to pick whatever you want. HESH has less pen, but well, not far more damage, but more damage. And heat has more pen, but less damage. But, so my enemy boss is a Wheezy 120, which is a Chinese Tier 9 medium tank. I have Tier 8 and Tier 9 tanks, and as you can see, that's what the Blast Wave does. It does a little bit of damage to me. He's behind a building, and it can still go through that. And now, the enemy team has found me, and they're starting to dump on me real quick. Boom. Literally, I had just knocked off almost half the health of that T-27. Same thing, another 5 seconds. Boom. And then I throw the Blast Wave. That T-27 is almost dead. That T-34 is almost dead. Like, at literally 5 seconds, and you're just, now I derped that shot, but literally 5 seconds at a time, and you're just punching tanks. Look at that. Like, that T-27 is almost gone. I've only shot him twice. He's out. I also, unfortunately, used the Mega Shot on him, but that's whatever. My healer gives me a shield, so that way, when somebody hits me with the Blast Wave, it does no damage, it just shoves me. Now I have the enemy boss to contend with. He does about the same amount of damage as I do, but I just punch into him, and there he doesn't manage to penetrate me with his Mega Shot, which is surprising. But I also have a heavy tank up there. I whip that shot and I bounce it off with his upper front plate. The accuracy isn't great on the Cobra, and my aiming isn't that great sometimes, especially when I'm in this mode. But look at that, almost 700 damage. That's ridiculous. This, and now the boss is out. You can see they lose 5 points. So taking the boss out definitely helps if you're trying to win, which is reducing the points. There's another T-34 heavy. I dumped HESH into his front plate, and then I just finish him off with heat because the HESH actually costs credits. The heat does not. But look at that. Like, I'm literally knocking off like a third of health of the tank every time I dump a shot. Here is the Wheezy, I think it's the 120 tank destroyer. Again, same thing, I drop some HESH into the side of it, 700 damage. It's just insane. I'm just dumping shots on these tanks, and it's bye-bye T-27. I try my hardest to help my teammates out. I'm already at like 8,000 damage. The T-34s come back, and that's when HESH doesn't work that well. I tried to shoot it in between his tracks, and it didn't work. And then I just went for the front of the tank and fired heat. He gets knocked down. I mean, this thing is just a machine. It's just dumping shots every 5 seconds. That's a low roll, 487, not that great. But that's also because the Gravitron gets a damage reduction when it comes to taking damage. So those shots don't look that good. But I do wipe him, and I am now down to, again, the T-27, 750 damage almost. He's gone. And now the enemy boss, Wheezy 120, found himself. I whip the shot into his tracks. Heat has a tendency to do that. HESH and Heat are also not great at shooting into tracks because they are basically shuttles, and you got lots of space armor. The Wheezy, I think that's a 111, 124, or 1-4. I've ran into him a few times. I'm dropping heat on him right now. I am running low on heat at this point, and I'm having to start to think about what shots I want to do, but score-wise, we have twice as many lives left as they do. This T-34, again, comes up behind me. These guys have been harassing me the whole match. I'm at almost 14,000 damage right now, and I have knocked out almost a third of their lives at 8 kills. So the Easy 120, I knock him for almost 800 damage there. He backs up. I damage his engine. He repairs his engine. I'm going to swing back around. I have the Easy 120 is basically stuck in a grab trap, and again, I drop. I think I switch over to HESH at this point because that's a lot of flat armor plates with that shot. But I'm down to only 1 heat shell and 8 HESH shells, so I have to really aim. There we go, almost 800 damage. I am just dropping shells left and right. Knock him out. I think I used HESH for that, even though it probably could have been done with heat. Here, I kind of hesitate because I'm not sure what I want to do. I wait for him to stop moving, and then I drop a heat shell on him. That's my last heat shell, so now I'm down to 6 HESH shells. I have to aim a little bit better, and unfortunately, since that guy's a Gravitron, he is going to not take as much damage as the regular tanks. I have 4 HESH shells left at this point. I'm knocking down, so I'm down to 3 HESH shells. I'm at 19,500 damage right now. That's probably my worst shot of the game, but I had no option. I was going to take the shot and hope for the best, and hopefully I was going to thread it. It didn't happen, but I do again with another shot, and now I'm at like 19,902, and that's the match. I did fire off 1 more shell. I could have broken 20,000 if that shot would have connected before the game ended, but here we are sitting at 10 tanks destroyed and almost 20,000 damage dealt, and I make a decent amount of credits and a decent amount of XP. Credits are probably more what I was interested in, and then if you just look at our team and how we did, it's a little crazy. A whole, I mean, 10,000 damage more than my next teammate. I mean, this was pretty crazy. It was a lot of fun, and I think if you play as the boss, the Cobra is definitely probably one of the more broken tanks when it comes to big boss if you're the boss. But it was a lot of fun. This literally was the first time I loaded up the Cobra. I bought it during one of the special events that Wargaming did for their 10th anniversary. They had a lot of tanks on special. This was one of the first times I played the Cobra, and I had a lot of fun. I have played it in ratings as well. This tank, as long as you aim, is a pretty fun tank, but when you get to literally cut your reload in half, it's a lot more fun. I literally basically ran out of ammo, did not die once as the boss, and we just walked all over the enemy team. You know, at first I thought maybe I wasn't gonna have as easy of a time, but man, once I started connecting those shots, you know, it was pretty fun. So if you have an opportunity to pick up the Cobra, I would probably recommend it, not just because of this match, but the other experiences I've had with the tank. The Cobra is a pretty cool tank. It does have some decent bounce abilities as well, the weird angled turret and stuff like that. You get some good gun depression. You don't have great gun elevation, but yeah, it's a really fun tank, and this was probably one of the most fun matches I've had in Big Boss in a while. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I might be doing more commentary on some of my replays now. I'll kind of just see how it goes. But anyways, until I see you guys in the next video, take it easy. Bye-bye.